right. This is a Netflix movie with a budget of $90 million, the most expensive Netflix movie investment to date. Now,
$70 million more than Shape of Water.
Yes, yes.
For all you math folks out there.
Just so you understand. And also...
and 11 plus 2 is 13.
Yes. Both have monsters in it, although this one, the monsters were behind the camera. And
how long have you been waiting to make that joke?
Like 4 minutes. Yeah.
I felt like you woke up with that joke, and you were
like, I can't wait to make this one. Yeah.
Were you in the car? It popped into your head in the car.
I got to write this one down. But I'll tell you now. I understand why you didn't like this movie, Graham, because you're not a fantasy fan. Like, I could see you're not a huge Lord of the Rings or a Hobbit or any of those movies. I get that. I'm the target audience for this movie. Like, I love fantasy. I love when genres blend together. And this movie was just a piece of shit from start to finish. It was really, really awful. And, the biggest magic power, making Will Smith boring. I love Will Smith. I love fantasy. I like cop show. Again, I've
Joel Edgerton?
Yeah, I like Joel Edgerton too. Every element on its own.
Rapace?
Yes, I thoroughly enjoy. But all of these put together made an absolute mess.
So it was more Hobbit than Lord of the Rings.
It was, and Max Landis, John Landis' son. I wonder if that helped. Sold the script for $3.5 million.
Wow.
And this is where I become a little bit skeptical of the trivia for this film on IMDb.
We could make 3 really good movies for that.
Yes, easily. And Max Landis said that he turned down an additional $1 million for the sale of the script because he wanted David Ayer to direct. He had written the script specifically for Ayer. And Max Landis compared the movie to David Ayer's End of Watch, which is also what
Called that.
Yeah, compared it to.
I didn't even know
Yes.
that. Yeah, he directed that.
So this is basically End of Watch with orcs and fairies and goblins. And what fascinates me the most, and where this movie missed the mark so much, is that how it took itself so seriously. Like, if you're going to add elves and
but it took itself seriously,
stone,
but then had all this jackass like 90s quippy
terrible
action movie banter.
Yes, and everything.
I was just literally waiting for I'm getting too old for this shit.
I'm getting too orc for this shit.
Oh God.
Yeah. Every line felt like a first draft, and then when you're watching this movie,
$3.5 million first draft.
Yeah, and you're even watching it like it's so poorly put together that even the foreshadowing and like the beginning of the movie, you're immediately like, well, I know what's going to happen in the last act of this film. This is clearly what's going to happen. We'll get into it more in the spoiler ep that we're about to do, but like stuff like they're searching for a magic wand, and then like, but even just the stuff, like it was so ridiculous. Like, it really, really thought it was a smart movie. That's what really irritated me. It was like one of those movies that thought it was a lot smarter than it really is. Like, look at the social commentary we're doing. We're going to Elf Town, where all the rich people, snobby people lives, and the orcs are the, they're the chauffeurs and the drivers, and, there's racism between the orc clans and all this stuff. And like, see, we're showing a funhouse mirror up to our society. And I'm like, no, you're not. You're just making a horribly shitty movie. And you're not showing me or telling me anything is what you're doing.
Go back and watch Alien Nation.
Yes.
It does a better job of social commentary than...
And I will say this, too. There is a much more interesting... I mentioned this on the last show. There's a much more interesting story about how magic coming into our world, and if you want to treat it more seriously, like as it would be a threat, and our conventional weapons would be useless against it, is on Thrillbent, when I was working with Mark Wade over there, called Arcanum. And it's a really interesting series about like a portal that opens, and then magic and creatures and elves and start pouring in, and it's like how the government has to deal with it and actually fight back. So, but it's done in a much more interesting way. There's like a beat cop, there's secret government agencies, there's all the things that this movie wanted to do that they actually do much better in the comic. And it also feels more realistic and grounded in the comic too, because it's better put together. I think it's the writer from He's a showrunner. That I can't remember his name. I think he did the show Leverage, if you remember that show.
Yeah.
I think he was writing the series, but this one was just an absolute mess. So I couldn't recommend it. But what irritates me the most is that there is a sequel to it. It has already been greenlit. Like, Netflix can't spend money poorly fast enough.
It's feel like if you have any sort of name recognition in Hollywood, just go to Netflix.
Just go to Netflix. You'll get a deal.
They'll just say,
no,
I have
do
this
whatever you
thing.
want.
It's two
Yeah.
talking shoes, and it's called Shoe Squad. And great. Yeah,
And it
book
stars Adam Sandler. Oh, we'll give you
done,
3.
done.
Yeah,
Book deal.
make it a trilogy.
Do you think? Do you think they accidentally thought it was Max Brooks's script instead of Max Linus? They're like, oh, we love that World War Z.
Yeah, that would be really funny.
Yeah,
they got the wrong writer.
Got the names mixed up.
The wrong son of a Hollywood director.
Yeah, because Suicide Squad was so well put together. Like, really, give him more work.
$90 million.
$90 million.
It's funny.
Yeah.
I've heard. I see Netflix spending all this money, but then I hear something. Like, I was talking to an entertainment attorney, and some other.
But they're hemorrhaging debt.
Well, that's the thing, and I hear so many people say, I don't know how this model is sustainable for them. Like, because they're hemorrhaging debt.
They're hoping Apple's going to buy them.
Oh. Yeah, maybe that's it. Like, literally, like, they want Apple or Amazon to just buy them.
Yeah, I read a rumor online about, like, how Apple might be interested in buying them. So,
Did you see any of this film?
I saw the first 6 minutes. And
Yeah.
Did your dad have to leave too?
no, the podcast started. So
Yeah.
I didn't know we were going to discuss it. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh man, I've been putting it off till it's really bored because I heard it was bad.
Yeah. Oh, it's gotten savaged by critics.
It's
got,
okay.
like,
I mean,
yeah.
it starts out interesting. I actually was kind of like, okay, when it started. I was like, all right, okay. I'm not into this, like.
Not a horrible premise.
No.
Not, it could be really interesting.
And I was like, oh, there's cool. There's a long shot of the city of LA skyline, and there's just a dragon in the background. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So you're just telling me, and
what this world would look like if they merged.
Yeah, if they merged, and you're not. So it wasn't like. I was like, oh, so there wasn't like some event where all these creatures came to the planet. Like, it's in our universe 10 years down the road or something. It's not that. It's no, these worlds, they came together a long time ago, and there's just these references to the old battles or whatever.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then just like.
They're searching for a magic wand.
Yeah, and it was just so.
That only certain people can touch, but then everyone wants to use. Well, how can you use it if you can't touch it?
And then
That's a good point.
Yeah. So, there's
have
a lot.
fun watching it, Jim.
So how does this compare to like District 9, which is like a well done sort of
They're not even in the same
yeah,
ballpark.
that's another one that I feel like is kind of like, oh, it's kind of. I mean, that's more aliens, but this is
District
kinda
9 is one of those movies that it knew what it was, and all the way through, like, it had the right tone and the right feel, and actually did hit on some heavy social commentary in a way that was much more compelling.
I mean, that's kind of what I felt like this was sort of.
It tried to be.
Yeah.
Never got there.
It's funny. It's like you talk about all the elements of Shape of Water and how difficult that is to balance all of those things, right?
Right.
And this has all of these other different elements in it, and they didn't.
No, it's completely unbalanced.
I would love to have seen Guillermo del Toro get a shot at the script and directing and seeing what his vision would have been.
It would have been completely different.
And $70 million cheaper.
Yes.
And good.
And good.
Yep.
And entertaining.
Uh-huh. In the right hands, it makes all the difference.
Maybe Netflix could do that if they're going to throw around that much money. Just we'll have these 3 directors make this, and then whichever one.
Actually, that's true. Netflix could do that. Yeah,
Everyone could just vote.
Oh, you guys, it's like the trailer companies. All right, we're gonna pay you guys to make 3 separate ones. We'll pick the one we like.
Yeah. Well, if you're gonna spend $90 million, you each get 30.
You're right. Yeah.
You see who comes back with the best one.
Yeah, we'll release the best.
Winner gets the sequel.
Yeah. And we'll still have enough money for it.
Yeah, like a Hunger Games for directors.
Yeah. Oh, I'm all for that. That'd be great. That'd be like Netflix of just losing their mind. Like, yeah, we're gonna make 3 versions of the same movie, and we're gonna put them all, see which one you guys like.
If you're just gonna fucking throw $90 million into the street,
I'd rather see
then
that.
do that.
Yeah.
And you would get how many more views would you get? Because we would all go, I'm gonna watch all 3.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'd be like Clue.
Yeah,
Remember
exactly.
when Clue came
you
out?
all went to the different endings of Clue.
Yeah.
So you got 2 and 3 tickets out of people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
I shot first, kitten heads across the land.